what you gonna see?
Richie! Bobby Lupo!
Part of a network running along the North African coast by which signal bonfires were used to communicate messages to state.
While many point to the Freemasons and Illuminati as the source of this particular symbol, there is another organization behind it, one that has for centuries.
Where you going, Mason? What kind of stuff are you making?
Definitively prove that the Apollo landings actually took place. So, how can we physically confirm in the present day?
It also may have been used as a lighthouse.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Now that we have all been cautioned in this committee hearing that the mention of Pentagon's Immaculate Constellation program could put us on a list, well, I already find myself on many lists, I'm sure. So I speak my mind often, so why not just keep going with it? May as well just go all out and say it. The earth is flat, birds are government drones, and we've never set foot on the moon, and Joe Biden received 81 million votes in the 2020 election. So let's just see how many lists we could get on here today. But Mr. Schellenberger, I wanted to ask you, I think I understand from this hearing that
Secret's essential to national security, but I think it's pretty obvious that there's overclassification.
Overclassification, yes. And so in most instances, if they can't tell us what, do you think at some point they'll at least tell us why?
You know, President-elect Trump has repeatedly committed to greater transparency, both on the UAP issue, on JFK files, on COVID origins, and many other things. So I think that we need to make sure that the next administration is held accountable for that. Agreed.
And this is for all four of you. Yes or no, please. I have many questions I want to get to. Are there any
Shadows, reflections in wells, position of the sun, simple, everyday matters of what possible importance might be. But Eratosthenes was a son.
Trying to keep us with our own brains, our own minds, thinking we're the ones insane. 33, 33, 33, 33. What you doing, Mason? 33, what is it?
And his contemplation of these homely matters changed the world, in a way, made the world. Because Eratosthenes had the presence of mind to experiment, to actually ask whether, back here, near Alexandria,
asking please why am I in this realm? What you doing, Mason? What you doing, Mason? Where you going? Take us again and again. What you doing, Mason?
a stick cast a shadow near noon on June 21st. And it turns out, sticks do. Ancient Egypt, I've inserted two sticks or obelisks, one up here in Alexandria and one down here in Syene. Now, if at a certain moment each stick casts no shadow at all, that's perfectly easy to understand, provided the Earth is flat. If the shadow at Syene is at a certain length, and the shadow at Alexandria is the same length, that also makes sense on a flat Earth. But how could it be, Eratosthenes asked, that at the same instant there was no shadow at Syene?
I'm not sure.
Tell Mama not to sign anything until I return home and see that Papa is buried in his mason's apron.
Shadows of different lengths. Could be observed difference in the shadow lengths. The distance between Alexandria and Syene had to be about 7 degrees along the surface of the Earth. By that I mean, if you imagine these sticks extending all the way down to the center of the Earth, they would there intersect at an angle of about 7 degrees. Well, 7 degrees is something like a 50th of the full circumference of the Earth, 360 degrees. Eratosthenes knew the distance between Alexandria and Syene. He knew it was 800 kilometers. Why? Because he hired a man to pace out the entire distance so that he could perform the calculation I'm talking about. Now, 800 kilometers times 50 is 40,000 kilometers. So that must be the circumference of the Earth. That's how far it is to go once around the Earth. That's the right answer. Eratosthenes' only tools were sticks, eyes, feet, and brains, plus a zest for experiment. With those tools, he correctly deduced the circumference of the Earth to high precision, with an error of only a few percent. That's pretty good figuring for 20